There have been some bizarre kidnapping cases involving celebrities, like the time Whitney Houston came to the rescue for her husband, chart-topping R&B singer Bobby Brown, when he found himself hog-tied, butt naked on the floor of a Bronx apartment as an ex-military psycho lowered a flame towards his... Hey guys, welcome to Bent Planet, where I tell you true stories of humans in abnormal predicaments, tales that will twist your mind, and this story is no exception. If you love going down the YouTube rabbit hole for crazy true stories, please like this video and subscribe so I can keep telling them to you. Alright, get comfortable. Are you ready to hear a story? Remember this song? It was the hit track from the film The Bodyguard, where Whitney Houston plays a celebrity singer who needs protecting. Ironically, the year after it was released, Whitney Houston was the one protecting a celebrity singer in real life, and it was her husband, Bobby Brown. In 1993, Bobby Brown had already forged a huge music career, but it was his questionable lifestyle that had him hitting the front pages. You can't blame a man for partying like a superstar, when he is one. But Brown got himself deeper and deeper into drug addiction territory, and before he knew it, he wasn't just racking up bigger white lines, but huge debts. And when you owe money to drug dealers, the momentary high you're feeling probably won't make up for the broken kneecaps you're receiving. So one night in Atlantic City in Jersey in the USA, a bunch of gangsters met up in a club for a regular catch-up. As they ordered bottles of booze, sharing war stories, one of the guys starts going off about how he and his boys are going to kill Bobby Brown if they get their hands on him. When asked why, he explained that Bobby had taken a kilo of cocaine from them and never paid up. It had been 3 months and Bobby was avoiding them like the plague. But apparently, Bobby and Whitney had a house in Jersey, so the drug dealers were hoping to track him down. A bunch of the other guys at the table were in a gang called the Preacher Crew, and these guys didn't muck around. Beyond selling drugs, they had become infamous for extortion and murder in New York City over the previous 10 years. They were so violent that their leader, Clarence the Preacher Heatley, was also known as the Black Hand of Death, and he loved an opportunity when he heard one. So as he listened to the Bobby Brown story unfold, he leaned forward and made a proposition. "I tell you what," he said, "I'll buy this problem off you. In fact, I'll give you 10 grand right now so you can stop worrying about it. And from this moment on, it's no longer your problem. It ain't got nothing to do with you." There's a reason the preacher was so confident about buying out the Bobby debt. He knew exactly where Bobby Brown liked to hang out every night. The same nightclub he did. Down at Club New York, a club J-Lo and Puff Daddy made famous after being arrested for their connection to a shooting there a few years earlier.
Gun possession and bribery charges against Sean Puffy Combs.
All of a sudden, the preacher had a reason to make his own celebrity news, and more importantly, make some fast cash. He just needed to get hold of Bobby Brown. A plan was quickly hatched. The Preacher Crew found a super hot street worker in Harlem who was also tough as nails and knew how to work a room along with a target. She was dressed up to the nines and sent down to Club New York. The first night she was told to just get noticed but make no introductions, so she did just that. But the second night she went down, she made sure Bobby was interested enough to approach her. When he made his move and began talking to her, the Harlem lady leaned in and said, "It's hard to hear you talking here, let's go outside." And as easy as that, Bobby Brown followed her out into a back street and straight up to a van parked nearby. Before he could say, "What in the karma?" gang members jumped out with guns drawn, dragging Bobby into the van. The preacher owned a bunch of apartments back in the Bronx, so after dragging Bobby back there and into one, it was time for the usual gangland scare tactics. He was stripped naked and hog-tied, both his wrists and ankles tightly tied together, before they brought in their torture expert, an ex-military guy from Virginia who knew how to get what he wanted. When he saw who they had bound and butt naked in the room, he was blown away. "Whoa, is this the Bobby Brown? No way!" And immediately ordered Bobby to start singing one of his hits. Bobby at this stage probably thought his celebrity status would save him from being too roughed up, so he refused to sing. But Mr. Torture wasn't there to play games, so he knocked Bobby to the floor, kicking him before reaching down and grabbing Bobby's ballsack in one hand, while pulling a cigarette lighter out of his pocket with the other. Flicking it into action, he lowered the flame down until it began burning away pubic hairs, heating up Bobby's manhood until he was singing out in pain and giving a whole new meaning to his hit, Don't Be Cruel. They held Bobby in that room for a few days before making a move to call Whitney Houston. Getting her on the phone, they demanded $400,000 or they'd kill Bobby, also making it clear that there'd be serious consequences if the cops or anyone else was alerted to the situation. So what does Whitney do? She did what any badass queen of coolness would do when protecting the man she loves. She put on a wig and a massive pair of sunglasses, probably did a huge line of nose candy, then jumped in her car and raced down to the Bronx. When she reached the designated address, she marched straight into the apartment where the preacher crew were waiting. Ignoring the hardened faces and automatic weapons everyone had on them, she threw a duffel bag onto the floor with $400,000 in it and said, "Where the fuck is Bobby?" And being such respectful businessmen, the preacher crew honoured the deal, took the cash and handed Bobby over. How Bobby chose to repay Whitney for being the wife of the century is questionable. Hopefully he showed her some love and not just the physical abuse that came to light in the following years.
Violence battery charge against R&B singer Bobby Brown, that in connection with the alleged beating of his wife, Whitney Houston.
But hey, if anyone came out of this situation looking like a legend, it was Whitney Houston in all her pop diva glory. Alright guys, that's it for today's true story of humans in abnormal predicaments. Please like the video if you made it this far, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when a fresh story is out. Stay safe out there and as always, stay bent.